I don't have any eye makeup on. Oh lord.
That was a cute thumbnail. Does anyone have Disney ears? What do I say first? Do I introduce it? Do you say hi guys? Should we say hi guys together?
Hey guys, it's Rachel here. You gotta do that. So this week I'm back with my friend Noah. He's a musical theater major here at my school and we've been wanting to do a video for a while, so we're doing it. So this video is gonna be
about my experience with the Disney College Program Face Character Auditions.
So he's just gonna talk about like how he found them, his experience with them, how he found out that he got accepted, and what he's doing now and stuff like that. I thought you guys might want to hear about this. I don't know anything about it, so I can't like really talk to you about it, but I figured it's something that you guys might want to know. So I have a first-hand experiencer here with me, so that's what we're gonna be talking about today, and let's just get started. Okay, so
let me just start it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can do it.
So I found out about the Disney College Program through my friend Emma here at school. She applied, but she didn't do the face character auditions. She just kind of got into the program. So that's kind of how I found about it, and I applied. Later when I did my phone call interview, I got in for merchandising, and I actually denied that. Later when I was on the phone with them, they were talking to me about like whether or not I would be interested in being a character performer. And I said yes, so they told me the dates, and they told me that I could go on to DCP Face Character Auditions. I would just Google that, and that is how I found the audition dates and where to go. I auditioned in the Ann Arbor location in Michigan. I went with my friend Emma, both of us auditioned. Kind of going to the audition process, the Ann Arbor location was reasonably small. There were about like 200 of us who auditioned, and I was number 82. A lot of fun. I still have my little sticker because it was a really cool experience. The audition process overall was really fun. It was very different from any audition I've ever done before. Very professional. I will say it was very professional, but also it was still a lot of fun. They focused on like making it a no judgment zone because like the things that they were having you do were like really crazy. Like you looked ridiculous doing it. So they kind of focused on being like, don't be afraid, don't hold back. And that was a really cool environment to be a part of. But I basically got there, I signed in, they gave me a number, and you waited for your turn. The first thing that we did was, it's like acting, I can't remember what they're called, like characterizations, I think it was something like that. It was Descendants theme because it was in October. They were like super into like Descendants.
Yeah. Was like big, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, pretend you're like a mad scientist and you're creating some concoction. So everyone's doing like weird stuff, like I'm stirring a pot and like that, like it's not fun. I was stirring a pot and they were like, break some stuff up in it, and it was like really weird, but it was still fun, and it was really cool to see like everyone's like characterizations of like what they were doing. It was very creative. But after that, you learned a really small dance combination, and then you did that like characterization stuff in the very beginning, and we actually went down their line. The first thing you did, they did like groups of 4 for like 30 seconds. You did like characterizations, like whether or not you were on like a parade float. So you had to do like stuff like waving at kids, and like they were really big on like connecting to like that individual child and things like that. It's very cool that they put that much effort into their entertainment department.
Because that's what you have to do if you actually get the position.
Absolutely. They are very big on like making individual memories for like each child that goes. Also, you learned a very short jazz combination. I don't even think there was a pirouette in the first one. There was a pivot turn, a lot of like hand stuff, like walking, things like that. It wasn't anything like super hard. It was just very fast, which is not like super depending on you being very like dance heavy. When I was there were a lot of girls, and I think there were like 6 boys. But after the cut process, we went from like a group of 200 to like I think 40 of us. So we dropped like flies really quickly. My friend Emma got cut first. And I know, sad face.
So sad.
Yeah, don't go into it expecting to get a character, because it's very it's literally by chance for you to go in and actually get approved by Disney. When we were talking to Ken, I think his name is, I think that's who's like currently like the casting director at Disney. He was like, there are 1,000 people who audition every year for the Disney College Program, so it's really it's really hard to get in, and he was like, you should just like be proud of yourself that you like came just to audition.
Yeah,
because that's a really big step.
Because even though you auditioned in Michigan, it was like 200. There's like more locations.
Yep, they had one in Chicago, one in New York, a couple of other places too that were just for the Disney College Program Face Character Auditions. The cutting process was, you had your number, so they basically they split us up into groups, so we didn't have all 2 of us into one like huge dance studio. They did 50 first and then like another 50. They did it like that. My number was 82, so they went down the line and they were like, this number, this number, this number, and then they were like 82. And they were like, okay, if I didn't call your number, like, you're free to go. So after that process, we did another dance combination and another like characterization, which was different. It was more of like a, I actually got it switched up. The first one was the parade, which is like the characterization of like you were supposed to be waving at someone from like the top of a parade float, and then the second characterization was like the whole like Descendants theme. But I believe the first dance call was like their actual parade walk that like they walked to in the parade. But it was like super easy. I still know like the dance combination for it. No, I'm not gonna do it. No. They obviously like tested your ballet technique and things like that. So like pirouettes and pas de bourrées, assemblées, things like that, and like your high kicks. But it was a lot of like fast paced, very quick. But it was so fun. The entire experience was really fun. Like I didn't for a minute like have a bad time or get scared. Your height is very important because they only have like a certain amount of costumes and you have to fit in that. I'm 6'3". I know standing by Rachel I probably don't look it. If we were actually standing up, Rachel would be like
very tall.
A good 7 inches shorter than me.
I'm 5'3".
Okay, so a foot shorter than me. You can actually do your research online and they will actually, it's not on their website, but you can do like people who have worked with the Disney College program before like know the measurements for all the costume characters as well as the face characters. So I went ahead, before I came, I went into it expecting not to get anything because I am 6'3". All of the princes they cut off at 6 foot. So really the only thing that I could do were like Goofy, the Genie, I think Jafar, like really tall characters, Woody, things like that. Or like Gaston, but I'm not a Gaston, clearly. I have a little muscle, but like not enough. I just went into it. It was a fun experience for me. It was a learning experience.
But I guess that proves that like even if you don't think that you can get a part in that sort of thing because they have those expectations, you should always just try and go for it if you get the opportunity because you never know what will happen.
In the end, it's, experience is always key, especially if you're like looking into like doing like theater professionally in any way. Kind of preparing yourself for auditions like that is really challenging. What am I doing? What was I talking about? Oh! So we did the whole dance call, then they split you into groups of 4. Basically you just went by your number. They like split you up in they put us all in a line in numerical order. Is that how you say it?
Numerical?
Numerical! They basically split you up into groups of like 4 or 5. And at that point you would just go in and dance in front of Ken. If they wanted to, they would call you, and they would call you up and they would be like, okay, we have a few questions for you, blah, 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 blah. In my group, they actually did call me up. They took my measurements. Ken asked me if I had any tattoos or visible tattoos or piercings, and then he told me I was free to go. But there were about like 8 or 9 people who were asked to stay. Most of them were girls, and it was like 1 boy. And I think that was more for like the parade performers, so like those who have like dance experience, and also face characters if they needed more photos for face characters and things like that. So after that I got to leave, and it was just more of like a waiting process. I
have another question.
Okay.
What did you bring? Like, did you have to bring like headshot resume, like dance shoes?
There was nothing you had to bring. You literally just had to show up. I brought dance shoes, obviously. Basically just bring something that you're ready to move in. We're very light makeup. They want to see like what you actually look at. That's especially important for like face characters because someone can look very different with contour. It was a very cool experience. The waiting process for me was like, I think 2 weeks, and I got an email back from Disney.
Wow.
I was not even expecting an email because I declined my first offer with merchandising. It was very scary for me. Like I was just like, I was like literally like I did not think anything was gonna happen. Florida was in the back of my mind. Like I was prepping for other auditions here. Like I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got the email, which sounds crazy, I got sick to my stomach. I had the worst anxiety over it too, because I was like, am I making the right decision? But I ended up turning down that position too, which I know a lot of you are probably thinking, you're an idiot. And partly I am. I was very like humbled by the fact that Disney would even be like considering putting me in like their costume character. But I decided to go against the decision. I talked to my professors about it because ultimately like they have been in the industry longer than I have, and the career that I want to go for is not exactly what would be offered for me at Disney. There are a lot of connections at Disney, and it would be really cool to audition for things down there too. But I also had to think about like my current experience and my current level where I'm at, and how my projected growth rate and how my talent will expand and grow as I'm getting a better education where I am currently. They were like, is that a fire alarm? So basically, that's kind of like what I did. I decided not to take it because of those reasons. But it was a very cool experience overall, and I definitely recommend that everyone go for the Disney program. Go audition for them, even if you don't really want to, because it's just a really fun experience. And if you have the time and you're not like spending a lot of money to come audition for it, don't worry about it.
And just to clarify, the auditions were free, right?
The auditions were free. I didn't have to pay anything. All you had to do was literally put in your application for the Disney College program.
If you have to pay, it's like a scam.
It's a scam.
Like, there's a lot of Disney auditions out there that are scams. I've told you guys that so many times. But yeah, so these are free. They're legit.
It's
just
through the Disney theme parks.
Yeah.
It is only for Walt Disney World though. So the California Adventure, they do like their own casting, and I'm sure it's somewhere through California with like professional actors.
And we'll leave the legit website down below where you can find the information on how to like apply and stuff like that. But that's it. I hope you guys got some tips today and you got first-hand experience on these auditions and everything. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below asking us any questions that you have. I'm sure Noah will answer them. Leave any video requests down below as well. Subscribe to this channel for weekly acting videos sometimes. But I try to upload as much as I can. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to find film and theater acting auditions. I know that a lot of you guys asked me about this, and I figured it's a good video to make. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so let's start with film acting. So your first best bet at finding acting auditions for film